Hey guys! I got a lot of weird instruments I never use. Oh, you're doing a cover of a modern pop song? Maybe you should try adding a ram's horn to that. That's what'll make it better. So then I figured, hey, wouldn't it be fun if I tried to add all these weird instruments together into one cover? Probably not, but that's what we're going to try today. So this video is going to be part song cover and part also instrument showcase, so hopefully you're ready for that. So I'll go ahead and show us the first one I've got here. Okay, here it is. This is called a Vio-yuke. It's got a ukulele part here in the middle, and then parts that you play with a violin bow here on the outside. So now instead of learning those darn 3 chords to play Riptide, I can play it on this weird thing. And you can also use a thumb pick like this to be able to play the left hand and the bow part at the same time. So here's the bow part. We use the outside strings to be able to make like the melody note, and then the inside parts for the left hand. And you can hear what it sounds like. It's angelic sound. Okay, that's one of the better strings. The worst one is this one here. Now the issue with this thing is it works best when it's in G major, because the G is right here in the middle and you don't have to be on those gross high notes or those gross low notes, and you can be on the ones that sound almost decent. But that'll be a problem later on, as we'll see, because most of the other instruments are in the key of C major. We're gonna have to move the melody up a bit so it won't be right in the middle where we'd want it to be. And that same issue goes for the chords here in the middle, as they are all in G major, and again we'll be using C, so unfortunately we won't be able to use the ukulele part of this instrument. So since we're not going to be able to do the strumming part on this, it'd be nice if we had another instrument that could do that for us. We do! This here is an autoharp. So this one I have a bit of an issue with, because I would be able to do it in G to match the Vio-yuke from earlier, that way it'll be a bit more cohesive, but this instrument falls apart every time I play it. So instead of it being a jumbled mess like this, you can hold down one of these buttons and it almost sounds good. But every time I play it, more of these cubes that mute the other strings keep falling out, so the instrument is self-destructing itself. For the cover of the song we're going to do, I need a specific set of chords, and I wasn't able to get it out of the key of G on this, so I had to move it to the key of C, but that's helpful for some of the other instruments, as we'll see later. I want to get a little bit more use out of this as well, so it has these bass strings over here, and I tuned those to be the root notes of the chords for the song we're going to cover, and hopefully we'll be able to use that to be a bit of our bass as well. And don't you worry, you can play Riptide on this instrument also. Who needs the ukulele? Hey, speaking of instruments that we don't need, let's go ahead and bring out that ram's horn. So if you've been on the channel for a while, you might remember that one video I uploaded where I played like 2 notes on the trumpet and it sounded like a dying squirrel. Well, don't worry, this ram's horn will sound exactly like that. I'm pretty decent at the keyboard and other instruments, but when it comes to the wind ones, it is a huge struggle. But the point of this video is to get some use out of these weird instruments, and it wouldn't be fair if I didn't at least try to include it. See, the worst part about this isn't the weird tingling sensation that you get from your lips when you blow into it. No, it's the ram's breath that you have for like the next 10 minutes from the weird smell that's coming out of this, and that I will continue to have for the rest of this video. Let's go ahead and move on to an instrument that'll be a bit more useful. We've gotten our bass from the autoharp, we've got our melody with the Vio-yuke, but now let's get some highs added in there. We've got another fan favorite of the channel. Okay, well, nobody's a fan of this instrument. There's only one person who really remembers it, and they actively hate it every time I play it. Hi, Mom. Doggy xylophone. This thing has been on the channel since the start. It's one of the earliest videos. You can find me playing the Doggy xylophone, and we gotta get some more use for him. It's got 6 notes ranging from C to A, so it's in the key of C major. Would have been pretty hard to do this if we had done it in the key of G, so that worked out quite well. The other thing about this guy is he's a good boy. He's got a bone here, but you know, dogs need more bones, and especially this one, who's a xylophone dog. he should have a xylophone dog bone. Xylophone dog bone here that we can add on top of it. I think this one is also in C major, but I'm not entirely sure. We can just add this on top of our already existing Doggy xylophone. That way they can be a perfect match, a dog and his bone. We've got an honorable mention for an instrument here, the kalimba. This isn't really a weird instrument, but it's just one I have trouble finding and fitting into good places to use it. I don't think we'll use it here because it is kind of a real instrument unlike Doggy xylophone. But it's still pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for the instrument part of the showcase, at least in this setup here. We've got two more instruments I'm going to show off, but they're in a different part. And they might be a little unconventional compared to the ones we've already seen. Let's go ahead and go check it out. You guys want to guess what this instrument's supposed to be? I thought it'd be fun for this little song challenge cover to try and add in some percussion, which I don't do. You see, drums have always mystified me as an instrument, because all the other instruments have notes and the rhythms and the staff that all kind of tie them together. If you know how to play one and you can play notes on the other, you can carry over some of the stuff. But the drums are a completely different story. So I figured it'd be a fun little challenge to try and add a little drum part to this song cover. So I've got this weird metal tin here I found that's going to be the snare. Beautiful sound. I've got this, which will maybe be the hi-hat. I've got this big old paint can to hold the snare down and also just randomly hit. And then I've got a bunch of random hangers I found with a camera stand to act as one of the cymbals. But you're probably asking, oh, where's the bass drum? That's right, dress shoe. Perfect. Now, there's only one other instrument I want to show off. So here's the final instrument I have for you guys. Let me make sure I get the name right because it's a bit hard to pronounce. Piano. So this is an old instrument from like the 1700s. It never really caught on, but it's got these keys here that you press. And then, okay, I'll stop the bit. It's not just the piano, it's something different. Come in, I'll show you. Okay, so here's what we're working with. We've got these three pedals down here. That one over there on the right is the one that we normally use. That one sustains all the notes on there. Now, the left one makes the hammers inside here be a bit softer. So you can see when I hit it, it gets it closer, that way they can't build up as much speed. And here's what it looks like when we hit the right pedal. You can see all these things down here get moved away so that the strings can vibrate freely. Now, the pedal that we don't often use is that middle pedal, and you can see because it's clearly the dirtiest. The thing that happens when I hit it on mine is it makes all these lower ones down here move away, but these top ones don't. So when I hit the top ones, they're short and brief, but the bottom ones get held. Now, that doesn't sound very interesting for the challenge that we're using, but let me explain. When you hit the middle pedal, it allows all these bottom ones to vibrate freely while you quickly get off the top ones. So if you do it right, it almost sounds like a choir is singing out. If you listen for that extra sound, that's all that middle pedal. Because you see, if we do it again and let go, it clears out right away. So I think it'd be really cool to add that in to this cover that we're making as some kind of backing vocals. It didn't work. Well, that's the video. What did you guys think? I think the song cover turned out pretty well, especially for how weird all the instruments were. I've got to say, it's pretty nice to be able to have one that turned out pretty well. The past couple one of these commentary type videos I've tried to make, I've gotten past the scripting phase and into the filming phase before realizing this just isn't going to work. But I think this one turned out okay. As for how the actual cover sounded, I think it was pretty good. The Vio-yuke was a little strong, but I think it works within the context of all the other ones. We have to mention the ram's horn. I warned you guys, I barely know how to play that thing, and it is very evident within the cover. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching all the way to this point. If you like watching me do these kind of musical things, maybe you'll like this other video I made where I used this thing to help me write a song. You can check it out here. But until then, I'll see you guys later.